That is absolutely amazing. Just look at that. Are we ready for this? Are we ready for this? The reveal. Oh, oh, are you kidding me? Layer of cheese, all that meat filling, pastry. Oh, that is. Hi everyone, welcome to Backyard Chef. I'm Rick. Today we're doing a Kiwi classic. It's a bite through pie with a cheesy secret. We are making the classic Kiwi pie. Mincemeat, cheese, short crust pastry, puff pastry. It's a variation similar to the Aussie pie, but obviously areas close together. You have very much similarities but changes. And the Aussie pie doesn't have the cheese. The Kiwi pie has the cheese. Let's show you how to make it right now. Now this starts with making some short crust pastry. So let's show you how to do it. Right, in a bowl we have some flour. In with some salt, about a teaspoon of salt. And I'm using shortening and butter. Now you can use all butter, all shortening, all marge, anything up to you. In we go. Now you can make the pastry in a food processor, whiz it all up in a few seconds, but you know, it doesn't take that long to make it. And you know, you've only got your hands and the bowl to wash afterwards. So it's nice and easy then. Just mix it all in there. We want the usual breadcrumbs. So it's just lift. And by lifting, we're aerating, so we're just lifting up and we're rubbing our hands together to form breadcrumbs. Nice and steady, lift, rub together, and the breadcrumbs will form. It only takes a couple of minutes. Okay, our wet ingredients then. I've got water, and I'm going in there with a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. Get that in there. And an egg. We're making a rich short crust pastry. All we need to do is just bring that together and then we'll get our hands in. Okay, clean hands, hands in. Let's bring it all together and make a dough ball. Now this only takes a couple of minutes. So a couple of minutes to mix it into breadcrumbs and a couple of minutes to put this together. 5 minutes, a ball of pastry. There we are. I'll split that. Split that into two. And then we need to take some cling film. Roll out your cling film. Get your pastry, put your pastry on the cling film. Squash it down, flatten it a little bit. By flattening it down, it just helps when we come to rolling it out. There we go. Next one, cling film. Take your pastry, squash it down. There we go. 2 flattened pieces of pastry in the fridge. 30 minutes, no more, whilst we make our filling. Okay, filling then, a little bit of oil in there. Okay, straightforward then, in there with our garlic. Now garlic's optional. If you don't want to use garlic, don't use it. In there with the garlic, in there with the onions. Let's have a little whiz in there. Now I'm going in with some pepper. A nice little bit of pepper in there. I'm not using salt because I've got salt in the gravy granules to make up our gravy inside. Now that usually carries salt, so I don't want to add salt at this stage. We just make these onions and garlic slightly translucent, just cook them down a little bit before we add our beef. I'm going in there with a good pinch of dried thyme. Probably about a teaspoon there. Stir it in. Okay, I'm not one of these that cooks the life out of the garlic and the onion in the pan. I like to set it off there, and as soon as we start seeing it melting down a little bit of fluid, in with the beef. Break up your beef, start to cook it down. Now as that's cooking down, I'm going to go in there with some Worcester sauce. Now you can put it in after you've cooked the beef off if you want, but let it all cook together and get all that flavour together. I'm also going to go in there with just a little bit of soy sauce. Just start to cook it down in there. Oh, it smells amazing. Now soy sauce is optional, you know, but a lot of people add soy sauce to pies. It puts that nice salty flavour through there, but with a flavour, you know, it's not just salt. Oh, that's looking tremendous. In there, a couple of tablespoons of tomato puree, or tomato paste, whatever you know it by, in it goes. Stir it all through. Let's have all that tomato flavour in there with all the other flavours. Now I absolutely love making pies, as you know, on this channel, and you can tell I absolutely love eating them. What I will say is this New Zealand pie, this kiwi pie, is an absolute belter. Now if you like cold food, cold pie, I love pie and chips, and I can tell you now, pie and chips with the kiwi pie. The cheese has melted into the top of the pie. Oh, it's awesome. And obviously you can rewarm it as well. But I like cold pie and chips, but you know, we're all strange. So just break up your mince as we go along. You know, you don't have to break it fine if you don't want. If you want those big chunks of mince in there, leave it. Don't break it up. Just stir it through. Just let that have a minute in there. Cook it through. Won't take too long to cook through in there. Gentle stir. Make sure we don't burn it. And then I've got some gravy granules. There's a few lumps in here actually, but not to worry, it'll cook out. In we go. Stir it in. Oh, classic meat filling for a mince pie. So what we're doing now, we're just trying to cook out some of that. Cook it down, make it a little bit thicker. We want a gravy in our mince pie, but we don't want all that gravy. So cook it down, let all those flavours intensify in that meat, and we'll have a perfect pie filling. Oh, that's starting to thick up really lovely. Okay, that is superb. Off with the flame. Okay, let this go cold. This has to be cooled down before we put it inside our pastry base. So let that cool, and then we'll take the pastry out and start assembling our pie. Right, pastry out the fridge. Let's crack on with this. I've got a tin here, 7.5 inch by 2.5. It's a spring formed tin that I'm going to use, so then we can just pop it open after we've cooked it. So I'll just put that to one side. It's going to get in the way. Out with our pastry. A little bit of flour on there, look. So what we're going to do, we're going to roll it out for the size of this tin, but we're going to come right up the sides, and if we can get a bit of an overhang at the top, that'd be perfect. Because I don't think the meat filling is going to fill it, and then we can fold it back over the puff pastry on the top. So roll it out to fit your tin. That should do it. Pastry in. Now get it in the best you can. Chuck it down there. Okay, so there's our pastry base in there with all our filling. Get it all in. Now we are trying to compact this down a little bit in here, because the cheese is going to sit on the top of here, and we don't want the cheese to completely melt all the way through. That is our pie in there with our short crust pastry. We've got an overhang because I'm going to bring it over the top. Now this is just my way. It's not a traditional way, anything like that. It's just my way for making pies. Take your tin and you lay your tin on top of there, and you do that. Now don't worry if it's slightly bigger. That's perfect. What we need to do is put our cheese on there. Now I've got good old-fashioned cheddar cheese, and I've cut it to some real thickness. You know, we want cheese in there. So take the puff pastry lid. Now I am going to tuck this round like that. Now you don't have to do this. This is just my way. I like it done this way. And then we are just going to fold over and twist, if we can, that pastry top. Bring it in like that to seal down on top of that puff pastry. Now this is not traditional in any way. Just bring it in and twist it over, and then we're going to go around with our finger and thumb. But this is going to seal that up there, and the pastry is going to puff up from inside. Now it's just my way. Usual 2 fingers, 1 finger. Push in and push down. Now don't worry about what it looks like at the moment, because it's all going to cook and puff up around it. So it's just nice to put a crust on the top of there. So we got this pie looking like that at the moment. Now don't forget this filling's already cooked. But what we're going to do, we're going to put a couple of little slits in the top of there. Open it up just a little bit. It's going to vent off a little bit in there, but we don't want all the cheese to come over the top. And then we're going to brush this lightly with some milk. Now you could egg wash it if you wanted. That's up to you for a darker glaze on the top. But the milk will give it that nice glaze. It'll be a lovely light glaze on the top of there. That is our pie. And that's going to puff up inside of there, fingers crossed. So we're going to get it in the oven. Now I'm using the air fryer today, so it's going to go in the air fryer. Okay, straight in the air fryer. Pre-warm it if you so wish. On. We're going for the toast setting. Just because we're baking at 170 degrees, you can't bake on the bake setting, it's 140. So we want to go toast setting. We want to set the time for about, let's go for 30 minutes, but we will watch it. And we'll set the temperature for about 175. And then we're just going to hit start. That is it. We just have to watch it now and see what happens. Oh, end hot. Oh, look at this monster. Oh, look at that. That is one beautiful pie. Oh, look at that. That is absolutely amazing. Just look at that. Right, so there we are. We're just going to have to leave that. We're going to leave it on there, let it cool down. It's going to cool down for about 20 minutes actually. That is absolutely boiling. And then we'll cut a slice. It looks fantastic. Oh, come on. No, I've not left it just 20 minutes. I've left it an hour actually. I've been busy. But not to worry. We're still going to cut into it. It should be fantastic. So what we need to be doing is put that on there. Like that. And we're going to pop the tin. Pop the tin. And see that off there. Oh, I can tell you now. That looks absolutely fabulous. What a pie. Oh, look at that. That looks absolutely fabulous. In we go. The moment of truth. Are we ready for this? Are we ready for this? The reveal. Oh, oh, are you kidding me? Layer of cheese, all that meat filling, pastry. Oh, that is kiwi pie made. Look at that. Just look at that. That is absolutely flipping awesome. Let's give it a taste test. Oh, look at that. That is absolutely flipping awesome. You've got that cheddar cheese going through there with that pastry. Oh, that is tremendous. That is kiwi minced beef and cheese pie made. If you like what we're doing, don't forget, smash that like and subscribe. Share with your friends, all that kind of stuff. Catch you in the next video.